And then for my second day, as I said, I went back and I did the tour again. Because the first time I had taken video, I didn't get to, I'd used up all the memory and everything on my phone. So I really didn't get to take, and my phone can't take really, really great pictures. It can take some good ones, but in certain situations, I can't get the distance that I want, that I can with my bigger lens and everything. Um, the struggle. So I brought my camera, and of course, it decided to rain that day. The day before had been beautiful, absolutely beautiful. And of course, when I was in my steampunk garb, I had wool pants on, I had big boots on, I had my scarf on, and my long sleeve dress shirt and my vest. Um, and so I was really hot walking around in that. And of course, the next day I went and I was wearing this shirt, the same shirt I'm wearing now. And then I had a little flimsy, um, like jacket, not jacket really, but a dress shirt kind of jacket, a jean jacket thing. Um, so I was cold. Luckily, it didn't pour or anything. It was just drizzling and kind of cold. Um, but yeah, so I redid the tour. Got to take a bunch of pictures. Really enjoyed that. And then I decided to go. So I'd seen it before and I didn't get to do it. Sadly, I missed. They had a thing, Makers on the Line, where they had a bunch of junk piled up. Got to pick from it, and you had to quickly make a clock, kind of like timepiece thing. It didn't have to be like really a clock, but it was like timepiece inspired thing. And I did get to see the work of the people who had done it. They did have a raffle, raffling them off at 3:30 to people to buy. So that was cool. I was sad I didn't get to do that, but I was really tired and I didn't feel like walking all the way there, and I had missed it while I was, and I was trying to charge my phone, and I ended up being really too close to go do that. That was happening at Lowell Makes, which I had heard of a little bit, but I'd never been to before. This place is awesome. I'm totally want to go back. And I totally need to go to their open house. Um, the first event I went to was from bicycles to steamships. I can't remember the guy's name. If I find it, I will post it above. I'll put it somewhere in the annotation. But there's a guy who collects, big bike enthusiast. He collects bikes. He fixes them, repairs them. He had an amazing bike. But yeah, he had an amazing bike on that was up, and he had tons of like parts and gears and like clock things and things that just make me go like ogle in amazement because I love it. But it was a cool motor pacing bike from the 1920s, most likely, he said. He unfortunately does not know the maker, um, but he says possibly a Bastard bike. But he was really cool. We sat there and talked. And he also had a ladies' bike that, oddly enough, what was weird about it? So the lady's frame, it had like a spoon brake like system. He didn't have the wheels for it. He didn't have the handles bar for it. It was just like the naked frame. Um, and it had a shifting system which was odd on the ladies' bikes, which is why he purchased it. But the shifting system was basically on the fly when you want to change the gears. You unbolt the chain, the bolts around the chain, and you shorten or lengthen the chain to change gears. Well, this was a lady's bike, so he was like impressed because he was like, damn, this woman must have been progressive to back in the day when you had to be all prim and proper and ladylike, for her to stop and on a whim take out tools to change the gears, to unbolt the stuff and change the gears on the fly. So that was really cool to see. It was a great presentation to see just how much bikes changed. How many times steam power was tried to be introduced to bikes, and how some of them actually worked, but sadly because of incidences with trains where the steam engine blew up and destroyed everything, people were like, oh, I really don't want to be sitting on that. So they really didn't give it a chance. So he said some of them, most of them failed, probably not because they wouldn't work, but probably just because of people's mindsets, um, which was kind of cool. It was also kind of cool to see just how many people had an influence, like how the Wright brothers um, went from building bicycles and looking at bicycles to using what they learned from that to build the plane. And then how a lot of bikers, um, because they thought it was safer and they made more money, um, went from biking to flying planes. Um, and it was really cool to just learn the history of bikes. The guy was really great to talk to. And after that, there was a leather making workshop. And there was this great guy. We walked downstairs and we saw their setup, which is really cool. They actually have um, like prices, and you can have access. You get an access card, and I think he said you basically get like 24/7 access to what you're allowed to use. Like, because for certain age restrictions or certain tools, you have to be trained on and stuff. But once you know the tools, you have free access to it for a monthly payment, which is really awesome. But yeah, we went and we made these. Uh, it did have a pinback button that took forever for me to force through the holes we had made. We'd punched into it. Unfortunately, as I was wearing it, because it's so flimsy, it broke. So I'm going to have to just adhere one. I'm going to get like a cheap one of the stick ones. That way, if it comes off, I can just peel that off and put a new one on. That way I can wear it. I also, of course, hate the ungodly um, orangey red, um, like what is it, like sparkly thing. But they had like custom cut them out with their what was it, their laser cutter or whatever it was that they used. Um, One of their machines. So it says 2016 Lowell makes, because this was the first um, steampunk festival event in Lowell. This was the first time doing this. It's a souvenir for the very first one. So I thought it was really cool to make. So we had to cut out the leather in the shape. We glued down the stuff. We picked out gears. We riveted it. We punched everything in. So it was really cool. So I'm gonna be painting that um, with some kind of like dark colored paint to get it so that it's more grungy, and that bright orange goes away because it totally clashes with the look of it, and also I hate the color, period. So that was the last thing I did, and then we got out of that late because we just got to talking. It was also amusing to. I had a big laugh. This lady, and this husband and wife came down, and I guess they know him. Um, they probably work somewhere else in the group, and they came down and they had their two little girls with them, and one of the little girls really wanted a seat, and I was preparing myself because I was like, oh, okay, I'm gonna have to move over and let this kid sit with me. And she took the initiative and she walked up to me because I'm the one that's approachable, I guess, with kids, always. I love kids. Kids love me. And so she came up. She's like, can you move so I can sit? So I moved over, and then I ended up putting her on my lap just because she really wasn't going to fit on the chair, and I didn't feel safe. Everything with her hanging off the chair. So I had her in my lap as I was trying to hammer these in. Luckily, I'd finished with most of the other stuff. I did also have to have her. I had her on my lap as I was gluing this down and putting these in. But she was cute, and she was basically just organizing the keys and the gears and everything, and having fun, entertaining herself, and asking me questions. Um, and then at the end, she really wanted to take this key off and organize it in the pile that she'd already had set up. She's like, "But it matches this key. It needs to go with it." And I'm like, "Yeah, but now it's part of my piece, and the other ones will eventually make a pretty thing as well." But she was adorable, so I had her on my lap for like the end half of it, before she then got off, and went to go color. But she was adorable. I have no clue what her name was, but she was cute as a button. And yeah, I love kids. Kids rule. So that was it for that. Um, so yeah, so that was it for that. We got out late, and then I walked home and I called my mom for a ride, because yeah, I wasn't gonna be. I was way too tired to like walk all the way home. And on my way home, of course, I picked something up. Um, Luckily, I have a spot for it. I had a use for it. Um, I registered the size in my mind and knew this is cool. This will be cool to have. Um, I know it will fit. So I will take video of that and be back. So there it is, and it's all its glory. It's an old candy display that one of the local stores was just throwing out. They had two of them. One of them did not have the plastic, but it still had all the metal. But I took this one. I just thought it'd be cool, and I can put my stuff on it. I am planning on getting little tray kind of things, that will fit it, that I can put my stuff in and organize it. But I just thought it was cool to have, this old candy, thing. So I cleaned it up and brought it in, and had to remind my mom, I have a place for it. Trust me. I'm not just bringing something home that I have no place for. But yeah. Okay, so yeah, as you saw, that piece was awesome. I couldn't resist it. It was really awkward, tracking it and getting weird looks, as I was going up the street to meet my mom at the parking lot. She ended up being at a closer parking lot. Of course, she gave me the look when she saw it, and I was like, I promise, I have a place for it. So as you saw in the video, I do have a place for it, and I'm starting to sort things and put things in, where it is. So that was it for my second day, for the last day of the Mill City Steampunk Festival. It was super awesome. I loved it. Would have loved to have seen more people dressed up. A lot of people apparently didn't even know about it. So I'm hoping they're planning on doing it again next year. I'm hoping that they put up more signs. They do a newspaper ad, maybe. Maybe do like a little quick TV ad or something if they can get the money together. Do something to get more people to come. Just because it was really exciting to come to do. But it would have been nice to have seen more people dressed up and seen more people come to it. A lot of people came to it by chance because they happened to be forwarded something or see something on someone's Facebook. I know I was forwarding it to my friends who liked the mill or occasionally came up to the area. Um, But yeah, so that was it. I had a great time at the festival. Um, I had a lot of fun. I enjoyed it. I love dressing up. I love going to these events, and I love exploring the city. The next thing I am planning on doing, I really want to do is this. It's the Charles Dickens in Lowell, and it's a guided walking tour reenacting Dickens' 1842 visit to Lowell. So I am planning on doing this at some point, just because I think it'd be cool to check out where he went when he came to Lowell. But yeah, I had great fun with that, so it was awesome.